The first thing we have to discuss before developing our kits is to first develop the PACE plan, which will dictate the type of kit we need to develop. Now, PACE stands for primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. Now, when you're thinking of a PACE plan, you're thinking a primary place to shelter in place, all right, or where you're going to take shelter or how that's going to look. Primary is going to be your home, your house. You're staying at home, done, right? Your primary plan is always the easiest plan. You plan on staying home and letting society crumble around you because you have all your tools, all your resources at your base of operations at home. So that's a safe plan if you can get away with it, right? So depending on where you live will largely dictate how long you're able to stay at home and the resources and things that you've planned in advance. So your primary plan is staying at home. Alternatively, your alternate plan. In the case you have to leave home, maybe you can drive somewhere else. It's gotten too rough in your city, you need to escape. You need to get away for a little bit. You're not as worried about people rioting and breaking into your home per se, but you're no longer able to leave your home safely or travel to the grocery, etc. So it would be best if you just left for a while until that crisis has passed. So maybe you're just going to drive out to your cabin if you have one, or a friend's cabin. You have a relative, maybe you have an RV and you're just going to go out to another state away or something like that for a weekend or a week until whatever is going on at home has calmed down enough for law enforcement, etc., to do their job and get control of the situation. All right? That'd be your alternate plan, and that's a best case scenario. It's a little too rough down here, I'm leaving. So we bug out, we're going to drive to our alternate location, and we're just going to allow time for that event to pass. The contingency plan is the same as the alternate plan, but it's so bad now we're unable to drive to that alternate location. We're going to have to go on horseback, foot, motorcycle, whatever other means we can, because roads are no longer passable for whatever reason. So that eliminates the RV, unless we've got it already secured at a special spot that we can get to safely. So that's going to put us at a cabin, relative's house, or grandma's house. And along this route, whether it be alternate or contingency, we need to have caches buried somewhere to where if we are forced to leave sooner than we would have liked, that we can pick up rogue pieces of equipment that we have staged along the path. Remember, if it's something bad enough that has forced us out of our home, it's probably pretty bad. I'm going to jump down here to the emergency plan for a moment. This is our worst case scenario. This is the true bug out. It's grab whatever you can and run for your life. Get out. We got to go now. You're now a refugee on foot. This is the truest sense of bug out. Now, refugees, whenever they remain in an urban or a city center, are often stripped of vital tools and resources, and they become dependent on what is given to them by those rendering aid. All right? So they're not going to have access to knives or tools or weapons or alcohol or in a myriad of other things, specialty first aid equipment or things of that nature. They're going to have to go and say, oh, I've got a cut, can I have a Band-Aid? Oh, I need to cut my meat, can I have a plastic knife? This kind of stuff is given to them, and it's given on a time schedule because they're now under military rules, and they're going to be fed at a certain time, if they're fed at all. It just depends on how bad the situation is. But regardless, they're going to have to be improvising anything they need because it will be taken from them. So you don't want to be a refugee stuck in an urban area. So you got to get your way out of that. So if it's bad enough that you dawdle too long because you're stuck on everything you have at the house and you don't get away in time, you may inadvertently become that refugee until you're able to make your way out. You may have to pass through non-permissible environments. So areas of your town that are either military or police controlled or controlled by gangs that aren't going to let you pass unless you give tribute or unless you're just stripped of anything of value that you have. So you may leave with your life only. Just depends on what's going on. And everything I'm talking about, most of us have now seen or lived through in some way, shape, or form. So even in the United States. So this stuff is not far-fetched anymore. This is the kind of thing going on now. So with that in mind, this PACE plan is going to really play into the types of kits we're going to develop. So we want to start at home. What kind of stuff do we need at home? How much are we going to keep at home? How long are we going to prepare, etc. So that's always going to be number one. And at home I'm going to have a long-term food storage plan. Creek has a wonderful course on Outdoor Core about the long-term food storage plan. Highly recommend it. I'm in that course as well. So that's right there. All right, that's your primary plan. Everything continuing on as it is, bam, we have that in place. But our alternate contingency and emergency plans are really where kit development is going to play a vital role in what we're able to do and how we're able to do it. So we're going to talk about home kit development first and give you some other nuggets to consider and then move into these other kits.